Women are not drawn to bad boys by accident. It is a psychological phenomenon rooted in attraction, challenge, and deep-seated emotional conditioning. The Stoics mastered the understanding of human nature, and if you pay attention, you will see that the same patterns repeat throughout history. Women chase bad boys not because they are logical, but because their emotions override reason. And if you do not understand this, you will always find yourself asking, why do they go after the men who treat them the worst? Stay until the end, because this video will break it all down, and once you understand, you will never see attraction the same way again. Like, comment, and share your experience if you have encountered this yourself. Chapter 1. They like the chase. For many women, the pursuit is more thrilling than the relationship itself. They are not in love with the man, they are in love with the game. When a man is distant, unpredictable, and emotionally unavailable, he transforms into a puzzle they feel compelled to solve. Every time he pulls away, their desire intensifies. Every time he withholds affection, they feel an urge to prove their worth. This is not about connection, it is about conquest. The bad boy, with his indifference and his unwillingness to commit, triggers a deep psychological response, one that makes the chase feel intoxicating. Science explains this phenomenon through the power of dopamine. This neurotransmitter is responsible for pleasure, reward, and addiction. It is the same chemical released when people gamble, engage in extreme sports, or take risks. The more uncertain the outcome, the greater the dopamine release. When a bad boy gives a woman just enough attention to keep her interested, but never enough to make her feel secure, her brain experiences the same chemical reaction as a gambler waiting for the next big win. Every ignored text, every delayed response, every moment of cold detachment fuels her desire even more. The emotional rollercoaster becomes addictive, keeping her invested in a man who offers nothing but inconsistency. The paradox is that once the chase ends, so does the excitement. Women who are addicted to this cycle lose interest the moment they feel secure. Stability feels dull to them because their brains have been trained to associate emotional highs and lows with passion. If a man is too available, too predictable, or too kind, he does not provide the same rush. He does not activate the chase mechanism. This is why some women reject the men who treat them well while obsessing over those who treat them poorly. It is not the man they crave, it is the uncertainty he brings. This cycle is evident in relationships where women continuously pursue men who show little interest in them. They may claim they want love, commitment, and security, but their actions reveal a different truth. They invest in men who ignore them. They tolerate mistreatment from men who show no real desire to be with them. They rationalize bad behavior, believing that if they just try a little harder, they will finally win him over. And the moment they do, the moment he reciprocates, the thrill disappears. Suddenly, the same man who was once the center of their obsession becomes boring. They no longer feel the need to prove anything, and just like that, they move on. A bad boy understands this dynamic, even if only on an instinctive level. He does not give too much of himself. He remains emotionally elusive, never fully committing, always leaving a woman guessing. He creates an illusion of mystery, knowing that as long as she is unsure of his true feelings, she will remain hooked. He is not interested in love, he is interested in control. And as long as a woman is addicted to the chase, she will keep falling for the same type of man over and over again. A Stoic man, however, sees through this illusion. He understands that a woman who is obsessed with the chase is not interested in a real connection, she is interested in the thrill of pursuit. He does not play games to keep her interested. He does not manipulate her emotions to make himself appear more desirable. He values authenticity, not emotional games. When he encounters a woman who is drawn to men who withhold love, he does not compete for her attention. He does not try to prove his worth or convince her that he is better than the bad boys she chases. He simply steps back, knowing that a woman who only values the chase will never truly appreciate what she attains. A Stoic man also understands that love is not supposed to be an adrenaline-fueled game of push and pull. True attraction is not based on uncertainty and anxiety, it is built on mutual respect and genuine connection. He does not waste his time with women who mistake emotional manipulation for passion. He does not lower himself to the level of playing hard to get just to maintain a woman's interest. He remains firm in who he is, knowing that the right woman will not require games to feel attraction. This is why a Stoic man never chases a woman who is obsessed with the chase itself. He knows that no amount of effort will satisfy someone who is wired to crave emotional turbulence. He does not let his ego get involved. He does not see it as a challenge. He understands that some women are addicted to the pursuit, not the person. And when he sees the signs, he does what any man of wisdom and self-respect would do, he walks away. Chapter 2. Constant chaos feels familiar. Many women are not searching for peace, they are searching for what they have always known. If a woman grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent, where affection was unpredictable, or where attention had to be earned through conflict, she will unconsciously recreate that same dynamic in her adult relationships. To her, love and chaos are intertwined. She does not seek stability because stability feels foreign. She does not gravitate toward healthy relationships because they feel dull. Instead, she chases bad boys because they bring her the emotional highs and lows that make her feel alive. This is why women who come from turbulent backgrounds often find themselves in toxic relationships over and over again. They say they want a good man, someone who treats them with respect, someone who provides security, but when faced with that kind of love, they feel an inexplicable sense of boredom. They crave unpredictability, the rush of excitement, the tension of never knowing where they stand. A bad boy provides all of that effortlessly. His mood swings, his reckless decisions, his hot and cold behavior, these are the very things that keep her hooked. She complains about his inconsistency, yet she cannot walk away. She says she wants to be treated better, yet she keeps choosing men who treat her the same way. The truth is, she is not addicted to the man, she is addicted to the chaos he brings. This pattern is deeply rooted in psychology. When a person grows up associating love with instability, their nervous system becomes wired to expect emotional turbulence. A calm, predictable relationship does not feel like love, it feels empty. This is why some women feel suffocated by nice guys who give them everything they claim to want. These men offer consistency, which does not trigger the same emotional spikes that she has been conditioned to crave. Without the drama, without the uncertainty, without the constant chase, she feels nothing. And so, she returns to the only type of relationship that makes sense to her, the kind that keeps her on edge. A bad boy is the perfect match for this mindset. He does not provide security. He does not reassure her. He does not give her the emotional stability she claims to desire. And that is precisely why she cannot resist him. His indifference fuels her desire. His unpredictability keeps her invested. Every time he ignores her, pulls away, or causes drama, it reinforces the idea that love must be fought for. The harder she has to work for his attention, the more valuable he seems. This is why she confuses his emotional neglect with passion. In reality, it is not passion, it is just emotional conditioning. This is also why breakups with bad boys are so devastating for these women. The relationship itself was unhealthy, but the emotional intensity was addictive. When it ends, she does not miss the man, she misses the chaos. She misses the highs and lows, the emotional rollercoaster that kept her engaged. And so, instead of healing, she jumps into another similar relationship, repeating the same cycle, convinced that this time will be different. but it never is. The same patterns play out, the same heartbreak follows, and the cycle continues. A Stoic man recognizes these patterns. He understands that a woman who thrives on chaos will inevitably bring that same instability into his life. He does not try to fix her because he knows that change must come from within. He does not get caught in her emotional storms because he knows that no amount of love can undo years of conditioning. He sees the warning signs early, the addiction to drama, the need for constant emotional intensity, the inability to find peace in stability, and he does what a truly wise man does: he walks away. A Stoic man values peace over passion. He knows that true connection is not built on conflict, on emotional manipulation, or on a constant battle for attention. He does not mistake emotional turbulence for love, nor does he allow himself to be drawn into someone else's dysfunction. When he encounters a woman who chases chaos, he does not try to prove that he is different. He does not compete with the bad boys she idolizes. He simply removes himself from the equation, knowing that a woman who seeks instability will never find fulfillment in a man who offers true strength. This is the harsh truth: some women are not looking for love. They are looking for a thrill, a challenge, a test of endurance. They are not interested in a man who brings them peace. They want a man who keeps them on edge. And until they recognize this within themselves, they will continue chasing bad boys, mistaking their own emotional dysfunction for desire. But a Stoic man does not fall into this trap. He sees the chaos for what it is, and instead of trying to fix it, he chooses the only path that preserves his own peace. He walks away. Chapter 3. They think they can change him. Women are natural nurturers. They are drawn to potential, to the idea of transformation, to the belief that with enough patience, love, and understanding, they can take something broken and make it whole. This is one of the deepest reasons why women chase bad boys. They are not in love with who he is, they are in love with who he could become. They see his recklessness, his detachment, his inability to commit, and instead of running away, they see a challenge. They tell themselves, he just needs the right woman. He just needs someone to show him what real love is. And so, they stay, convinced that they will be the one to tame him. This belief is reinforced by countless stories, movies, and romantic fantasies. The misunderstood rebel who just needed the love of a good woman to turn his life around. The distant, emotionally unavailable man who finally softens and lets her in. It is a narrative that has been fed to women since childhood, the idea that love is about transformation, about enduring struggle for the sake of a greater reward. But this is not reality. This is a trap. A bad boy has no incentive to change when he sees that women chase him precisely because of who he already is. He thrives on the attention, on the validation, on the power that comes from knowing that women will fight for him, will prove their worth to him, will try to heal him. He does not see their devotion as something to cherish, he sees it as leverage. And because of this, he has no reason to change. Why would he? He gets everything he wants without having to give anything in return. Women who chase bad boys often believe they are different from the rest. They think, other women have failed, but I won't. I understand him in a way no one else does. He just needs someone who truly cares. But what they fail to realize is that this mindset itself is the reason they are drawn to him in the first place. They are not in love with the man, they are in love with the idea of fixing him. They see his flaws, his chaos, and instead of being repelled, they feel a sense of purpose. He is not just a partner, he is a project. And as long as they are focused on fixing him, they do not have to confront their own fears, insecurities, or unmet needs. This is why relationships with bad boys follow the same predictable cycle. At first, everything is intoxicating. The woman believes she is making progress, that she is getting through to him, that she is the only one who sees the side of him that others do not. She convinces herself that she is special, that she is different. But over time, reality sets in. He does not change. He continues his reckless behavior, continues to push boundaries, continues to treat her with the same indifference as before. She grows frustrated, hurt, exhausted. She tries harder, she gives him more chances, she makes more excuses, she tolerates more disrespect. But nothing shifts. He remains the same. And eventually, she either walks away, feeling used and betrayed, or she stays, trapped in a cycle of endless hope and inevitable disappointment. A Stoic man understands that attraction based on potential is an illusion. He does not fall for the fantasy of who someone might become, he sees them for who they are in the present. He knows that real connection is built on reality, not on the false hope of transformation. He does not waste time trying to prove his worth to someone who only sees him as a challenge. He does not try to fix broken people who have no desire to heal themselves. The truth is simple, people do not change because someone else wants them to. They change because they make the conscious decision to do so. And a man who thrives on being chased, on being admired for his recklessness, on keeping women in a constant state of uncertainty, has no reason to change. He enjoys the game. And any woman who thinks she will be the exception is fooling herself. A Stoic man does not seek validation through someone else's potential. He values people for who they are, not for who they might one day become. He understands that real relationships are built on mutual growth, not on one person trying to drag the other toward self-improvement. A woman who truly understands this will stop chasing men who do not value her time, her energy, or her love. And when she does, she will finally be free from the endless pursuit of a man who never intended to be caught. Chapter 4. They mistake arrogance for confidence. Confidence is magnetic. It draws people in, commands respect, and signals strength. Women, like men, are naturally attracted to those who carry themselves with certainty. A man who knows his worth, who does not second-guess himself, and who moves through life with purpose is undeniably appealing. But not all confidence is real. Many women mistake arrogance for self-assurance, seeing dominance where there is only insecurity disguised as power. This is one of the main reasons why they chase bad boys. They believe they are drawn to strength, but in reality, they are chasing a carefully crafted illusion. A bad boy appears unshakable. He does not seek approval, does not apologize, and does not bend to anyone's expectations. He moves through life as if he owns it, refusing to explain himself or accommodate others. To a woman, this looks like raw, untamed confidence. She sees a man who does not care what others think, who is not afraid to say what he wants, and who never doubts himself. In contrast, many men she has met have been hesitant, overly accommodating, or too eager to please. Compared to them, the bad boy seems like a rare breed, someone who is completely self-assured and in control. But this is a deception. Arrogance is a cheap imitation of confidence. A truly confident man does not need to put others down to feel powerful. He does not mistreat people to assert control. The bad boy thrives on making others feel small, masking his own insecurities by projecting an air of dominance. He is not truly self-assured, he simply refuses to acknowledge his flaws. And yet, many women mistake this behavior for real strength. They see his indifference as emotional stability, his recklessness as bravery, and his inability to compromise as unwavering confidence. A woman who chases bad boys often believes she is drawn to a man's strength, but what she is really responding to is his lack of concern. When a man does not seem to need her, when he does not put her on a pedestal, when he treats her as just another option, she feels the need to prove herself to him. His arrogance makes him seem like a prize, something difficult to attain, something that must be earned. The more he ignores her, the more she desires his attention. This is not because she values arrogance itself, but because she confuses it with the kind of self-possession she actually craves in a man. A Stoic man understands the difference. He does not need to play games, belittle others, or demand attention. His confidence is not performative, it is deeply rooted in self-mastery. He does not need to constantly assert his dominance because his presence speaks for itself. He is not threatened by other people's success, nor does he need to prove his worth through conquest or cruelty. While a bad boy relies on manipulation and detachment to create the illusion of confidence, a Stoic man radiates true strength through his actions, his integrity, and his ability to remain calm in all situations. This is why bad boys do not last. Over time, their arrogance becomes exhausting. What once seemed like confidence begins to feel like immaturity. What once felt like dominance begins to feel like emotional unavailability. A woman may be drawn to a bad boy in the beginning, but eventually she will realize that his so-called strength is just a facade. He is not fearless, he is emotionally closed off. He is not powerful, he is simply unwilling to care. And when the illusion fades, so does her attraction. But a Stoic man is different. He does not chase, but he also does not play games. He does not seek approval, but he also does not push people away. He does not apologize for who he is, but he also does not need to prove his worth through arrogance. His confidence is silent, unwavering, and undeniable. And in the long run, real confidence always outlasts the illusion of arrogance. Women who understand this will eventually stop chasing bad boys and start seeking men of true strength. And a Stoic man? He simply waits, knowing that real power does not need to announce itself, it is recognized by those who are wise enough to see it. Chapter 5. They fear being alone. For many women, the thought of being alone is more terrifying than being in a toxic relationship. The silence, the stillness, the absence of external validation, it forces them to confront their own thoughts, insecurities, and unresolved emotions. A bad boy offers an escape from this. He provides just enough chaos, just enough emotional unpredictability to keep her mind occupied at all times. When she is with him, she does not have to sit with her own feelings. She is too busy chasing his attention, trying to decode his behavior, or recovering from his latest emotional withdrawal. This is why stable relationships feel dull to her. A healthy man who provides security, consistency, and peace does not give her the emotional rollercoaster she is used to. She may tell herself that she wants a good man, but when she meets one, she quickly loses interest. Without the constant highs and lows, without the thrill of uncertainty, she begins to feel uneasy. The absence of drama forces her to face herself, and she is not ready for that. So she gravitates back toward the men who keep her distracted, the bad boys who never let her feel too comfortable, who keep her mind constantly engaged in trying to earn their approval. At its core, this is not about love. It is not about genuine attraction. It is about fear. A woman who chases bad boys is running from herself. She fills the void with emotional turmoil, believing that the intensity of a toxic relationship is better than the emptiness of solitude. And because bad boys never fully commit, because they always keep her at arm's length, she is never forced to stop and question what she really wants. She remains trapped in a cycle of emotional pursuit, mistaking the chase for love. This is why she tolerates mistreatment. The pain of being with a bad boy is less frightening to her than the pain of being alone. She will justify his behavior, excuse his disrespect, and convince herself that his coldness is just a test she needs to pass. She will mistake his indifference for mystery, his emotional unavailability for strength. She will believe that if she just tries harder, if she just proves herself worthy, he will finally choose her. But deep down, what she really fears is not losing him, it is losing the distraction that he provides. A Stoic man does not involve himself with a woman who fears solitude. He understands that someone who cannot be alone will never be fully present in a relationship. She is not interested in him, she is interested in what he can provide, an escape, a distraction, a temporary relief from her own self-doubt. A man who is grounded in Stoicism does not offer temporary excitement at the cost of his own peace. He does not entertain a woman who clings to relationships out of fear rather than genuine connection. A woman who fears being alone will never be satisfied. She will always need something to occupy her mind, whether it is a toxic romance, an endless cycle of dating, or an obsession with someone who does not want her. She will mistake attention for love, drama for passion, and rejection for a challenge. She will never find true happiness because she is not looking for love, she is looking for distraction. A Stoic man sees this for what it is. He recognizes that a woman who cannot sit with her own thoughts, who cannot find fulfillment in her own company, is not ready for a relationship. He does not waste his time trying to convince her that peace is better than chaos. He does not play the game of emotional pursuit. Instead, he remains firm in his own self-worth, knowing that a woman who fears solitude will always be running from something, and he refuses to be another stop on her path of avoidance. Chapter 6. They equate love with suffering. From childhood, many women are conditioned to believe that love must be earned through struggle. Fairy tales, movies, and romance novels reinforce the idea that true love is something that must be fought for, endured, and even suffered through. The woman who remains devoted despite heartbreak, betrayal, or emotional distance is painted as the heroine, the one who truly understands love. Bad boys fit perfectly into this narrative, providing just enough emotional turbulence to make a woman feel like she is experiencing something profound. The highs and lows of dating a bad boy become addictive. When he is affectionate, she feels an overwhelming sense of victory, as if she has won his love. When he pulls away, she feels devastated, but convinced that if she just tries harder, if she just proves her worth, he will finally commit. This cycle creates an illusion of depth, making her believe that the pain she experiences is proof that what they have is real. After all, if she is willing to suffer for him, it must mean she loves him deeply. And if he ever comes around, it will all be worth it. But this is not love. This is emotional dependency. It is a toxic pattern where suffering is mistaken for passion, where instability is mistaken for excitement, and where a relationship's difficulty is mistaken for its value. A woman caught in this mindset will actively seek out men who are emotionally unavailable, distant, or even cruel. She will reject stability because it feels boring. A man who treats her with consistency, who does not play mind games, who does not create drama, he will seem uninteresting to her. She has been conditioned to believe that love must hurt, so when it does not, it feels empty. This is why so many women stay in toxic relationships long after they should have left. They tell themselves that their devotion will eventually be rewarded. They see every obstacle as a test, every heartbreak as proof that their love is real. They believe that if they just endure long enough, if they prove themselves worthy, they will finally receive the love they crave. But what they do not realize is that the bad boy is not withholding love as a test, he simply does not care. He thrives on the power he holds over her emotions, and he has no intention of changing. A Stoic man sees through this illusion. He understands that love does not require suffering. A relationship should not be a battle to be won or a test of endurance. He knows that true connection is built on mutual respect, trust, and stability, not chaos and pain. He does not entertain a woman who romanticizes struggle, who believes that love must be earned through suffering, or who thrives on emotional turmoil. A woman who equates love with suffering will never be satisfied. No matter how much she chases, no matter how much she endures, she will always crave more conflict, more difficulty, more proof that what she feels is real. When things become too easy, too peaceful, too stable, she will grow restless. She will pick fights, create problems where none exist, or sabotage the relationship just to feel the emotional intensity she has been conditioned to crave. A Stoic man does not engage in this cycle. He does not waste his time trying to prove that love does not need to be painful. He does not allow himself to be drawn into someone else's addiction to chaos. He values his peace, and he understands that real love enhances life, it does not drain it. If a woman cannot appreciate love without suffering, he does not try to change her. He simply walks away, knowing that she will always chase what hurts her, and that is not his burden to bear. Chapter 7. They want to feel desired, not respected. A bad boy does not shower a woman with devotion or admiration. He keeps her at arm's length, offering just enough attention to keep her hooked, but never enough to make her feel secure. He does not treat her with reverence, he treats her as an option, a temporary pleasure, a fleeting conquest. And paradoxically, this is exactly what makes him so intoxicating to many women. His detachment, his unpredictability, and his refusal to be emotionally available create a magnetic pull that is difficult to resist. Many women claim they want a man who respects them, who listens, who treats them like a queen. But their actions tell a different story. When given the choice between a man who respects them and a man who keeps them guessing, many will chase the one who offers the emotional roller coaster. The reason? It is not respect they crave, it is the rush of being desired. They do not want to feel secure, they want to feel like they must constantly work to earn a man's attention. And a bad boy plays into this need perfectly. He does not offer stability. He does not reassure her. He does not make her feel safe. Instead, he makes her feel like she has to fight for his approval. And that challenge, that sense of having to prove herself, ignites something deep inside her. Every ignored text, every delayed response, every moment of indifference makes his attention feel more valuable. The less he gives, the more she wants. This is not love, it is addiction. It is the psychological trap of intermittent reinforcement, where unpredictable rewards make a person more desperate to win. A Stoic man, however, does not engage in these games. He does not manipulate, he does not withhold affection to create artificial value, and he does not need to manufacture scarcity to be desirable. He respects women, but he does not chase those who only value being desired. He understands that attraction built on emotional gains is shallow and fleeting. A woman who thrives on these dynamics is not interested in real connection, she is interested in validation. And validation is a bottomless pit, it can never be filled, no matter how much attention you pour into it. The irony is that women who chase bad boys will eventually find themselves exhausted by the very dynamic they once craved. They will grow tired of the emotional turmoil, the endless uncertainty, the constant feeling of needing to prove themselves. But by the time they realize it, they will have wasted years chasing men who never intended to commit, never planned to stay, and never saw them as anything more than a temporary thrill. A Stoic man does not waste his time on a woman who mistakes emotional chaos for passion. He does not try to prove his worth to someone who only values him when he is hard to get. He does not beg for attention, does not play the role of a validation machine, and does not allow himself to be caught in the cycle of someone else's insecurities. He understands that true attraction is not about manipulation or scarcity, it is about strength, self-respect, and authenticity. Women who chase bad boys are not looking for love. They are looking for the high of pursuit, the thrill of uncertainty, the validation of winning a man who refuses to be won. But a Stoic man does not lower himself to become a piece in their game. He walks his own path, unbothered, knowing that real love is built on mutual respect, not endless chasing. And if a woman cannot see the value in that, she was never worth his time to begin with. Understanding why women chase bad boys is not about becoming one. It is about seeing the psychological forces at play. If you do not recognize these patterns, you will always wonder why good men are overlooked while toxic men thrive. The truth is, attraction is not logical. It is deeply rooted in subconscious desires, childhood conditioning, and emotional needs. A Stoic man does not resent this reality. He simply understands it and moves accordingly. If you value peace, self-respect, and genuine connection, you do not chase women who are addicted to chaos. You let them chase what they crave while you build a life of stability and strength. If you found value in this, like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.